Hey guys, it's Andre here, and today we're going to be solving more competitive programming problems. I've kind of been going on a lead code grind, doing some problems, and I'm kind of picking some that are really fun and I think will be very useful. The one we're going to be looking at today is the top k frequent element. As always, I'll put the link on the description. So basically you have an array of numbers and an integer k, and you want to return the k most frequent elements. So, there's 3 1s and, 2 2s, 1 3. The top 2 most frequent elements are the 1 and the 2. It's a simple problem. When I think of this, the first thing I think of is a max heap, obviously when I think about frequency, getting frequency of anything, we use in C++ an order map, right? A hash map in Java or whatever. And then when I think about frequency as well, though, I'm thinking of a max heap. But max heap have log n, operations for inserting and removing. There's actually a very, very clever big O of n solution that only uses, vectors. So that's what we're going to be showing today. So first we're going to include vector, include an order map, and as always, obviously if you're using lead code, this is not needed, they add it for you, but I think it's good practice to keep it. So the first thing I'm going to do is what we've done before, and is to get the character frequency. In this case, we're going to loop through every element in the array, 1 1 1 2 2 3, or sorry, 1 1 1 2 2 3, and get the frequency of each element, right? So 3 1s, 2 2s, 1 3. So we say an order map of int map for auto nums. We say map of num plus, right? So it's gonna basically create a key with num and then increase the count. So it's gonna add a 1, increase the count of 1, now set the count to 2, or 1 set the count to 3, 2 set it to 1, 2 2, and then 3 1. And then we're actually, instead of using a queue or a max heap or something like that, we're actually going to use a vector of vectors, because we're going to use the frequency to index into this vector of vector. And then that's how we can store all the top k frequent elements, in this case, the element 1 would be stored at position 3, the element 2 would be stored at position 2, and the 3 at position 1, right? Because no elements are at position 0, we're actually going to initialize this to the size of our list plus 1, and that will work in case every element is distinct as well, right? So we're going to say frequency, and we're going to initialize this to be num.size plus 1, because we're kind of indexing like 1 to the right? This is at 3, even though it should be like usually 2. So then we're just going to go for auto const entry. We're going to iterate over a map, and then we're just going to add it. So frequency, and it's going to be entry.second. So it's going to be our value, our frequency. If we have the key as 1 and the value is 3, we're going to put it, frequency 3 is going to be the third vector here, and that is going to be frequency.first. That's going to loop through and add all the elements, and then we're going to go for integer I loop. So it's going to add all the elements into the vector which corresponds to its frequency, and now we're going to go through in reverse and start popping k elements. For integer I is equal to nums size, while I is greater than 0 minus I, and then we say for integer n equal to frequency I, or actually easier we can say for auto n and frequency I. I mean a vector to pull our answers, vector of n, Then we're going to add answer dot push back n, and then we just need to check if we've pushed k elements, then we need to pop, right? Or return if answer dot size is equal to k, return answer. Right, so we basically get the frequency, then we use that frequency to index into a frequency vector and store our key, which is the unique numbers in there, and then we just loop it in reverse, adding elements until we reach k, or the loop it finishes. And oh, sorry, this should be entry dot first, right? This is what we're iterating. And then push back, because we're adding our elements into the vector, right? Entry is what we're iterating over the map. We get the second, which is the frequency, push back the first item. And now it should be good. And then, yeah, let's submit. And as you can see, this is a pretty fast solution. We did use big O of n because we basically only go through the elements once, and then add them. So it's n, and then k, which is less than or equal to n. So big O of n because 3n is still n, but we did store a bit more memory, but that's okay. So I hope this was a useful solution. This is a nice, way to think about this problem. Nice, good solution. Way simpler than using a priority queue, in my opinion. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. We'll do some other problems soon.